People, let's go. Okay. I'm live. Okay. Hey everybody. We'll just give it a quick second here so the count will add up and we'll go from there. So Ryan, I don't know if you're still here. How are you, Apprentice Ewok? JJ Prime, Offworld Adam. Good to see you guys. And okay, there we go. The eyeball is up and running. So as it stated, we've got Kato from Kato's Collection hanging out with us tonight. So 2 nights in a row. So you guys are, I'm getting spoiled anyways. So so probably be some decent Transformer talk, I think for sure. Probably get into some G.I. Joe talk a little bit, as much as that is kind of a salty subject for most of us Canadians up here, and some of you Americans as well. So, oh, here we go. Brian, Inutabi, how are you? Jake, how's it going? So, you know what? I'm just going to pull them up right now instead of making them sit and suffer too long. So let me scroll up. So hopefully I'll be able to keep track a little bit easier tonight. I think Usual Mike really threw me for a bit of a loop. Was not expecting him that quickly to be on the thing. Clone Command. William, you got here at the beginning. That's always a good sign. So, Mr. B, how are you? So here we go. So we're gonna pop Kato in, and we're gonna have some chats. Boom.
What's up?
There we go. Area 51. How are you? Good to see everybody out here. So hopefully everybody's well. And hopefully you guys haven't gotten sick of me so far yet. I mean, 2 days in a row. And I'll be on another stream on Friday, and then Uncle Mike will be on Saturday. So I'm just going to town this week. So
you're taking full advantage of your brand new abilities.
Might as well, I tell you. So the more I can get in and just keep the interest up, I guess all the better. But yeah. So how are you, sir?
Living the dream.
Excellent. Liam?
How's everybody in chat doing? I see everyone saying hi. Clone Command, Offworld Adam. I'm seeing folks.
Oh, Linda, how are you?
You've got quite the following, quite the loyal group of folks.
Yes, it's yeah, I can usually count on about 20, an average of 20 of them are usually 20 to 25. I think my high in chat's been about 32 or 33, which I've got no complaints about at all, because I find it's just enough to be able to keep track of everything.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think I said something a while back that I think everyone has like a core 25. Like and then there's some sugar and salt on top of that.
Yes.
That can add to it. But there's typically about 25 just solid folks in everybody's stream that'll be around and hang out. Hey TK 6287. Darth Rock.
Darth Rock's in. Oh, is that just my notification saying I'm live? A little later than ever, but thank you for that thing. So, yeah, no, these guys are fantastic. I mean, they definitely. I think when I took my break back in November, that was the hardest part, was the live streams. It wasn't the reviews so much and the unboxings or any of that. It was definitely the live streams that were the hardest, because I'd get home from work and go, oh, it's Wednesday. I need to not live stream right now because I'm on a break. And then Sunday would roll around and the wife would go up and watch her programs and the kids would do whatever. And then they were both off in bed. And then I'm like, it's time to, yeah, right. I'm not live streaming still. Okay. And then I would just sit down here and stare at my shows going, how much longer am I going to take a break for? So, yeah, it was these guys that I had to make sure I got back for sure. So
let's show off that collection of yours. You click the 2 squares side by side like you and Usual Mike had. I want to see that widescreen shot that you have now.
Let's see if I can.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh, that's it. Okay, there we go. Look at these new things. So yeah. It feels better. I mean, there's a lot more still up at the top. All the really pricey stuff's up top, and some of the is down at the bottom. Like my few Transformers that I have, I think the 3 Transformers that I have are down on the bottom shelf right now. But I don't know. One day, maybe more. I'm just so bad. But I still love that bloody freaking Captain America Prime you've got. That thing is.
Oh yeah, that is a beast. That was a grail.
I
Was a
would
grail.
Yeah, I would say I've got a lot of grails in here that I've had a lot of help filling gaps for sure. So I consider myself very, very, very lucky. So JJ, why don't you add the background over on I think is it the banners? I think
Brand
on the brand. It gives you a couple of options or whatever to click. So this is the first time I've actually noticed to tell you the truth. So I better be careful because I don't even know who did the picture. I just saw it and I'm like, that's pretty appropriate right there. So Darth Vader and Santa Claus mix up. So why not?
works. I think that's pretty appropriate. A cult.
Yeah. Let's see. I miss anybody else up here? I think everybody's good to go. Oh, Steven, how are you, sir? I don't know if you made it in last night. So Steven's like one of my original guys, same with Clone Command, like right from almost day one. So
don't you love seeing those guys? Not that I'm very appreciative of every single, like I can't say it enough. Very appreciative of every single subscriber. They're all awesome, but it's fun seeing those folks that have been there since like 1 through 10.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, what's that? That gamer goes. So my mom was wanting to know what my government is like in Canada. Jesus. Justin Trudeau. That's all I got to say. He's not quite a Trump, but he's a complete dipshit. So I'm just gonna say. And then each province has like a premier. So there's one per province as well. So he's kind of like the head of the province. And so Doug Ford is ours. And I don't know if anybody remembers his brother. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. He passed away, but he was always getting in trouble for like smoking up and doing some other really not so great stuff. So, and then he passed away just a couple of years ago, I believe. And then of course, this guy gets into office and he's not bad. A lot of people are like really applauding him. Like, I mean, I think the COVID thing was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to that guy. Like a lot of politicians, probably they're like, "Oh man, I'm not looking good in the public's eye," but ooh, an epidemic! All right, good for me. And everybody's just thinking it's fantastic. So, yeah, so that's what the government's kind of like. They're not fantastic. I wouldn't say there's Saturday Night Live skits being done about any of the Canadian government at all, but yeah, they're not super great. So
It's all just rich. It's all just rich people getting richer.
Yes, exactly. Have I been watching any hockey? Just some highlights. So surprisingly, Detroit is not the worst team in the league so far this year. Chicago, I think, has got that title so far, but I think we split a couple of games with Carolina. I think it was the last 2 games that they played, or Columbus. I think it was. Yeah, we split with Carolina and we split with Columbus. So considering a lot of people thought Detroit might get 1 win the entire season and finish bottom of the basement. We'll see. But do you watch down in the South?
I could not possibly care less about any sport whatsoever.
Okay, all right.
I used to really love baseball. Stopped watching baseball in '96. Anytime millionaires go on strike for more money, I give up.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've looked at hockey really the same way with some of the lockouts that they've had. Same with definitely with baseball as well. It really sours. It really sours. That just way to tick off the fans, and they're the ones that are helping support that big fat contract that you're sitting on. So
I appreciate individual sports more than I do team sports. I think I like UFC and boxing. I don't watch very often, but I like those a lot more.
Clank. Let's see. Yeah. How about? Oh, geez, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm hoping things clear up because we'd like to get back down that way again. I said it's kind of funny. It's getting so close to being a year since we were down in Myrtle Beach when all of this started to happen, and then people were going absolutely crazy up here by emptying out all the shelves of toilet paper and other bizarre stuff. So it's like, well, we better bail and come back up. But it had been probably, I want to say almost probably 10 years we brought, I think my son when he was about 3 was the last time we were out that way. So, and it never really changes. The strip, like the beachfront strip, except for the hotels being rebuilt after hurricane season and what have you. So
yeah, it's all the same. Nothing changes. Not since they redid since they moved the pavilion and took all the fun stuff up. It's all been about the same.
Yep. Yeah, millionaires fighting with billionaires. Yeah, exactly. We don't get any of that stuff. That's for people who are higher up than us, I suppose. But
Inutabi says he's into sumo wrestling.
Ooh, okay.
He's lying, but
that's not a bad giant guy. Why not?
Inutabi is our resident Rejecticon Star Wars fanatic.
Oh, right. That's right. I do remember you saying, yes, that is correct.
He's our Star Wars guy.
That makes me a fan of his in my book for sure. So you like your Star Wars? That's great. I appreciate. I mean, I don't have the Transformers, but as much, but I appreciate, especially to see how they've evolved. How Hasbro is really, especially the last few waves, like the Kingdom ones and what Earthrise and all those, like far superior to even the last batch that was out for like
Return Wars, Titans Return, and all that stuff. I feel the same way about I really do like Star Wars, but there you have to kind of choose what you're going to collect a little bit.
Yeah.
And Marvel, and I love Marvel Legends nearly as much as I do Star Wars, but there's so many of them. Again, I have to choose what I'm going to get, and so I love watching I get my fix by watching Star Wars reviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I do the same with Transformers. So between watching your stuff, Bots and Shots when Mike and Zach do their drinking and stuff like that, that's kind of where I'm like, well, I'll live vicariously through my online friends collections, because I'll never, I just I just won't have it. I had Mike had sent me. I've got, I don't know what it's Megatron, but he's a slightly more expensive one, but I don't have the room for him. So he's in his box, in another box, along with a combiner, and I God forbid if I can think of which combiner it is. It's the Jeep and the helicopter and the
Bruticus.
Bruticus, thank you. Oh my God, I'm gonna kick myself for not remembering. So
right here.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So he's boxed up right now as well. Just there's no space. And then I had Fortress Maximus up until about last weekend when he somehow exited the back of my car without my knowledge. So I'm upset about that. I love that figure. I thought it's just so big and bulky, and he's in my intro on the channel. I'm like, yeah, he's not part of the family anymore, and he's just so expensive. I'm like, I can't replace him anymore. So
I need a good Fortress. I need a good Fort Max and Metroplex. I missed out on the Titans Return versions, and I need an update of those. I've got Trypticon, Scorponok, and Omega down here somewhere. Yeah, down there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Omega Supreme was one I wanted. I got Skyfire. I don't care. He's not Jetfire. He's Skyfire. He's one of my favorites all time. So as soon as they showed that one off, I'm like, well, it's better than was it Fans Toys Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, it's a scale. It's a cheaper version of that. It's a little panely in some spots, but I don't ever have him as the Jet. He's as the guy, and it wasn't until recently I didn't realize that you could actually flip over his faction symbol on his chest. So I was like, oh, somebody must have done a repro label, and they're like, no, just push the piece. I was like,
just flip it around, man. Just flip it around.
Okay, that's awesome. So, well, let's see if we've got some stuff. I saw somebody had something in here. JJ, am I hyped? Yes, Kato and I were starting to talk a little bit about that. He was showing off his 86 shelf he's putting together. If I can find some, I would gladly get a few because 86, like I said in the stream last night, I saw it opening night in the theater. And remember again when the one swear word dropped in that film, and you get the grandparents and the parents going like, "Oh my Lord, I couldn't believe a cartoon would swear and blah blah blah," or whatever. And my buddy and I are just sitting there going, "This just rocks even harder." So it's so
Yep.
good. And yeah,
I felt the same way about G.I. Joe the movie. Like I think they drop a word in there, and you get to see Duke get shot.
yeah, you actually saw blood, right? When he took the snake into
Serpentor's, he took Serpentor's staff to the shoulder.
Yes, that's right too. So yeah, it's the times. Now you probably that would be so mild compared to today's stuff for sure.
Oh, good Lord, yes, it would.
David, did anybody notice? I did not. Unfortunately, where I have my pre-orders for those figures are from EB Games, and my EB Games has permanently shut down, and they have transferred all pre-orders to another location that's inside of a mall, which malls aren't open right now. So myself, nothing. So it is Star Wars dry up in Canada as of presently. I'm going to have to go and switch and order from toysnowman.com. So no plug. It's a shameless plug, but whatever. They don't pay me for that, but he definitely donated a few nice things for the giveaway for the channel. So which is fantastic. But yes, David, they were slated for April, just like the newest archive wave. That wasn't supposed to be out till, I believe, well, I guess February, and then April the second round is supposed to come out. But yeah.
Look at Mike's comment. Oh yeah, Inutabi did get me into Mando. Check out Mike Case's comment down there. Sorry, Mike.
Sorry.
We all sold out.
Yeah, just a smidge. I just monetized everything literally 20 minutes or so before I went live. So yeah, Jake, I will have to try and call. I got to get a hold of the other old store manager as well. So, but let's see if we got any questions. Anybody got some questions for Kato? Because you guys are always asking me some stuff or whatever. So if you've got some Transformers questions, for sure, we got one in here. If we want to get into some G.I. Joe a little bit, I think Kato, you're doing the. Are you doing your
retro? Right? I guess mostly what am I doing? I'm doing some Masters of the Universe, Transformers, third party, a few knockoffs, Thundercats, some Batman, G.I. Joe Classified, G.I. Joe Retro. What else am I doing? I buy stuff that I think is cool. I really don't care what it is. I really don't. I had some of the Mandalorian figures, the Black Series stuff, but I ended up getting those over to Inutabi. He appreciates those more than I do. They were fantastic figures. They were awesome.
Yeah, they are. That's my prominent shelf right there. Is my Mando shelf that I keep going. Now I'm going to have to expand into a second one because it's just getting so full. But yeah, well, how are you? Where are you? Complete for classified? Are you up to date on the classified, or is there anything you're missing?
I've got everything classified except for the new Cobra Island stuff that's almost impossible to find, the Viper and Firefly. And there's one Cobra Commander I don't have, and I don't even know if it's shipped yet. It's the
late blue.
The 3 Cobra Commanders. There's the original release, the Supreme with the cloth cape and everything, and the yes, that's the one I don't have.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one I don't have. Okay. Which I don't know. I canceled my pre-order from Pulse just because I'm like, it's not different enough for me to care. I mean, with the Supreme Leader Commander, that thing is gorgeous. So that's plenty for me.
Yeah.
That's great. Now I'll find Viper or Firefly eventually. Ridiculous that you would put an army builder as a weird exclusive. So stupid.
That's the second time too, right? Because the Cobra Trooper and the Cobra Trooper and and we had a problem with Storm Shadow up in Canada. Amazon pretty well canceled I think all of Canada's pre-orders on that. So I got lucky and had him sent one of the subscribers sent him up to me. So he was one on my list that I was like, yeah, I don't really. I don't know what the word is. Like that outfit for him just doesn't do it for me. I don't know that version of him because
the Deke series outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at that time he was actually a Joe in that outfit.
Oh, that's interesting. So I love his accessories and everything. I think are great. I put him without the hood because I don't like that plastic bowl type of thing on him. But yeah, he's fine. I still the Cobra Soldier, the deluxe one. That's still probably that one and the Red Ninja. I think are pretty well two of my favorites. I think so, and that may just be sheer accessories. Maybe I don't know. So
that just reminds me. There's some that I have not. I have not opened. Didn't even realize that. Let's see. Yeah, Beachhead. I have. Jeez, what an idiot. Yeah, there's still some I haven't even opened yet. Oops.
All right.
Gotta get those on the shelf. Oh well.
Here's the question: are you hyped for Wave 2?
Which all of them. I'm hyped for every single Kingdom figure. They have done well enough that they get my money for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely.
Who's in Wave 2? Because that's something I don't know.
Oh God, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. Somebody in chat will tell us. But I'm trying to think who they did announce for Wave 2. Whoever it is, I'm gonna get. It doesn't matter.
There you go. I got both classes. Oh, did you, Jake? Good for you, my friend. So, one of the lucky Canadians to score some of the Cobra Island stuff. So,
yeah, and even the normal stuff is a little scarce to find. I'll see it here and there. I love the Pimp Daddy Destro. That one is so over the top and fun.
Yes, yeah. I did a little hack on him and Destro. I cut that little rubber strip between the holster and the belt. I was like, I don't get why he has that when everybody else has just straight up and the beefy legs are able to hold the holster. So I was like, a couple little snip and like it cleans it up just a little bit. But
Nutabi and Mike helped us out there. It's funny, all those I knew. It's just for some reason I thought those were still Wave 1. Yeah, Inferno, Huffer, Air Razor, Dinobot. I'm looking forward to Dinobot, but the arms I'm looking forward to Dinobot, I guess. Huffer 2, Inferno.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, Air Razor. Okay, yeah, those are some that I actually do know. So that sounds bad then. So very.
Yeah, all those. It's just I'm all in on Kingdom and whatever they're going to do with 86. I've got Grimlock on the way for the 86 Studio Series. I think that'll complete that wave too. Yeah, I think it will. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Dinobot looks really good. Huffer looks really good. I think Air Razor looks good. Inferno's fine. I mean, he's great. Hoist was not Hoist, but Grapple was great, and this is just going to be another. I'm surprised it took this long to do it. So, yeah, they got me. I'm all in. Dinobot does look great.
I wasn't a big fan of the primal, like that, even the cartoon. I don't know if it's just because the computer. Rendering or whatever. I was just like, I just couldn't get into watching that series at all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing when the next one comes up on Netflix again. So I enjoyed the last one more than the first series for this.
Yeah, Beast Wars. I didn't watch that much. It came out at a time I was old enough to be working, and so I didn't get a chance to watch it as much as I did. The original animated series, and so I didn't build a connection with them at all. And then it was also at a time where my eyes worked well enough to realize that while the CGI was new, it was still pretty shitty.
Yeah.
And the story, however, the story and the writing is great, but it was just something. It's kind of that uncanny valley problem. Like they all looked just pretty bad, but
Yes.
you know, but like seeing them now, how Kingdom has treated them now, it's built a new appreciation for Beast Wars. So I get it. I would love to see. It would never happen, but I would love to see the exact same series remastered with new
Mm,
CGI, same
yeah.
audio, same everything. They could release that Beast Wars remastered, and it would be awesome. Even if they did if the animation team from uh, the War for Cybertron trilogy just
Yeah.
all they did was just remaster Beast Wars, I'd be all in on that.
That's all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I would give it a go for sure. Then, if that was the case, for sure. All right. Favorite Seeker? You got one?
Skywarp.
Skywalker.
Just the purple and black is just a great combination of colors.
Yes.
Not even really anything about his attitude or his character. I just think he always looked the coolest.
Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for Starscream, and I take it on the chin all the time. But it's just he's just such a whiny little so and so. But just conniving and underhanded and what have you. But just the original, like the '86 version of him, and then like as of more recent, but some of the other ways that he's come in. I'm trying to think of some of that. See, I don't even know most of the different Transformers series. Might have been maybe one of the animated one where he was all was it Soundwave or Shockwave? One of the guys was just a silent like airplane, and he had big long finger. I can't remember.
Prime.
Might have been Prime. It could be Prime. So
yeah, I really like Starscream. Starscream's a fun character because you always need that little whiny, underhanded, backstabber bad guy in there, and he makes a good one. And always wanting to be the leader is great and everything, but he would have been such a terrible, terrible leader.
Yeah,
horrible leader.
Yeah, I remember I can remember when Galvatron just disintegrated him in the movie. I remember my jaw was just like, what? Like, okay, you've kicked off my entire childhood by wiping out Ironhide and all those other guys and stuff just to get those new toys out in the market. But I was just like who else are you gonna wipe out? And then all of a sudden Starscream goes, and I'm like, damn. But then when they found the ghost of Starscream when he was trying to get his body back and stuff, I was like, all right, there we go. My guy's coming back into play a little bit here. So I was pretty happy for that.
Comedy. It's bad comedy.
Exactly.
It took me a long time I was an adult when I realized that all they were really doing is eliminating as many licensed vehicles as they could.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're not going to pay Chevy and Porsche and Ferrari and Lamborghini all this money to use their vehicles anymore. Let's make up weird space vehicles.
Oh,
in your hot rod.
We haven't argued on who Cyclonus is.
There's no argument.
And who are we saying? Because it's been a while. I haven't watched. Is it one of the No. Is it one of the Insecticons or is it one?
Well, people that are wrong say it's one of the Insecticons.
Okay, there we go. Are we saying it's Skywarp? That's where we're going?
It's absolutely Skywarp.
Okay.
100%.
I honestly, I kind of figured that's probably who it was. So
I always felt it was Skywarp, and then Rodimus Primal did an interview with Flint Dilley, one of the writer for one of the writers for Transformers, and he confirmed it. He's like, there would have been no reason for us to make it an Insecticon. And the argument is that Bombshell is up front when they announce who Cyclonus is when he gets reformatted, and
right.
Skywarp in the back. But this is that argument doesn't hold water for me because this is the same series that has as many animation errors as it does animation accuracy.
Oh boy, yes.
So
yeah.
So I can't really say that just because Bombshell was in front, when at any given moment you're going to have multiple of the same character on the screen that shouldn't be, and bad colors. So it was Skywarp. Makes no sense.
There we go.
Yeah,
So for anybody else who ever had any doubts.
No, it's Skyward. Like Inutabi said, the first guy to save Megatron on Earth. He was when they landed on the Ark. Skywarp was the most loyal one. He woke up. He could have just flew away and not give a crap about any of them. But nope. First thing he did was bring Megatron over and resurrect old Megs. Thanks.
Yeah.
Which it always amazed me that the Ark would even want to resurrect Decepticons. Just
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I managed to get. I picked up the box set of the 80s. All 4 seasons or whatever. Dirt cheap. It came up on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, you know what? I'd really like to start from 1, go all the way through, because I know there's probably episodes that either I just don't remember or that I've completely missed. Yeah, there's probably a few that it's fine if I don't remember them at all, but I was like, yeah, I'd like to go through again and just see if there's anything that I missed throughout that, because being a kid, your attention span's just kind of like, ooh, something shiny. Oh, that's pink. And then you're just all over the place.
Yeah. And as a kid, they're never in order. You're probably never going to, gone. But we didn't have DVR back then. If you didn't catch it when it was on, you missed it. And so yeah, I'll watch the series and the movie probably at least once a year. I'll make a marathon of the series and end and the movie, and then go into the season 3 as well. So yeah, I'll get up and still I'll never be one of those people that know everything. There are people out there that know it, and they'll comment.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, they'll comment.
Yeah.
I've had one of my most successful videos has been the comparison of the original Beast Wars characters with the Kingdom characters. This was before the Kingdom characters were officially out.
Yeah.
So I had to grab images online and show what they were going to look like as compared to what the original set looked like. And man, I probably get because let's see, this we'll do it. We'll end it here tonight. This is the original Black Arachnia.
Okay. Yep.
The original Black Arachnia. This was a mold mate and a remold into Tarantulas, and it looks identical except for a few color swaps. Every single day, I'll probably get 2 to 5 comments saying, "That's not Black Arachnia, that's Tarantulas."
I gotta put it. Yeah.
I'm just like, oh look, yeah, Inutabi, he knows. Inutabi knows.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram post on that. So yeah.
For one,
brutal.
who cares? And for 2, shut up. It's like, well, and it wouldn't have been so crazy if, like, when it was first. They're not mine. Somebody let me borrow them. Actually, Bacon from tformers.com sent them to me so I could use them for these reviews. And shout out to tformers.com. But hey, Rhino, when he showed them to me, I was like, wait a minute, isn't that Tarantulas? So I was there with him. I got corrected because I didn't know I knew hardly anything about Beast Wars at the time. And happens all the time. All the time.
All right, here's one for you. What figure do you guys feel you need in your collection to make you proud? What's your?
Oh, I already have it. It's the G1 Sunstreaker that is right there. That's from 80. God, what would that have been? 84 when that came out. 85. It was the first one. That was not that I had from as a kid, but it is an original Sunstreaker. That one is that's the one that I'll never sell. I would sell everything else before that.
I don't honestly, I don't know if I could even I don't know if I could even answer that question looking at anything I've got. I mean, maybe right now, because he's about the newest, would be my Hot Toys Commander Cody, because he was a gift from Uncle Mike and TK6287. So I'd say maybe he would probably be the one, but any of the convention stuff, the 2013, the Boba Fett with Han Solo and Carbonite, that is near and dear to my. I mean, I need like a double wide coffin to take this stuff with me in the end. So my kids are sitting there going, "Ooh, which one am I?" I'm like, I don't know about that, man. I'm gonna get buried in a piano box with all of it. So
I'm gonna be like a pharaoh. I'm taking it with me.
yes.
Even if it doesn't actually come with me, it's gonna die with me. Yeah, I think that I mean, there's plenty of gifts that I've been given over the last couple of years that I would not get rid of either. Just it takes a lot, man, for somebody to want to send you something. You've sent stuff, I've sent stuff to people and received stuff from people, and it says a lot for somebody to even want to send you anything.
Yeah.
For someone to say, "Hey, I think you're missing this in your collection. Was thinking of you," and there you go. And that's crazy. Like, that's not anything that I thought would happen or was expecting to happen. And the same goes the other way around.
No.
Like, when you see someone, like, you know what? I'm at Walmart and I see something that I know X person would like, and you go and you do it. So it feels good to receive and to give, and it means a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I still get a few people that are like, if I pick something up and I've just like, I'll send it out, and they're like, "What do you need?" And I'm like, "I don't need anything. It's fine. Pay it forward. Like, there's enough crap in the world right now that because sometimes people don't let me know if things are showing up, and then I come home from work one day, and then boom, on my chair there's a package. I was like, "Whoa, where'd that?" And it's like automatically I need to make a video or I need to live stream because I want to put it out there. I've saved every piece of mail. I've got it in an envelope tucked in beside Greth. Thrawn looks after all that stuff for me that eventually I would like to either try to frame it all or something and put it up because, I mean, that was a lot of, again, and a lot of the guys in here, especially, my core group, make sure you thumbs up. I forgot to say that earlier, but whatever, guys, that, a lot of emails I was getting saying, "Oh, well, you started the channel, so people would send you stuff for free." And again, I get the Mike Case wannabe, but I'm like, flatter me some more, because I can only wish to be anything quite like Mike at all. And yes, we have the same haircut and kind of the same build-ish a little bit, but I mean, other than that, like, there's worse things.
Yeah, there are worse people to be told you're trying to be like, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
there's nothing wrong with that either. And we all get our fair share of haters too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, see, Stumbler had a follow-up here. Is there a figure that you don't have that you would love to have in your collection?
Yeah, there is. Every time I see something new announced. But what don't I have that I would really like? Oh wow, I don't have. I would like a G1 Megatron. I don't have. I had G1 Megatron as a kid. It was probably the most expensive one that I had as a kid, and it got broken like the day after I got it by someone else. And so I don't collect G1, but to have like the G1 Sunstreaker like I have there, I wouldn't mind having one Megatron because I remember that so well. It's a horrible looking toy in robot mode.
Oh, absolutely. I do remember having that one. So yes,
it's got such a nostalgia, and I've got masterpiece versions of Megatron around, but to have the G1 that'd be a big deal if I could stumble across one of those.
Yeah.
And they're not impossible to find. It's just I just don't want to spend the money on it. But that would be one that I would like to have in the collection that I don't.
Yeah. I'd like to. There's a few guys in here that have been hunting down like the original 12 Star Wars figures from the original line, and I'm like, again, because there's not anything new to get. Of course, I'm hitting eBay and looking at other things, going, maybe I'll start backtracking and I'll start filling in some gaps of things that I don't have. Where I'm looking up. I don't know if you ever, and I brought the movie up last night, and a lot of people didn't know what the hell I was talking about. But Megaforce, did you ever see Megaforce with Barry Boston?
I remember you guys talking about it last night, and I had not seen it.
So that one I'm trying to hunt down the Hot Wheels for, because they came out with 4 or 5 Hot Wheels, and I had every single one when I was a kid. But they're almost, if you're looking for them on card or a very clean car, you're looking at about $80 to $100, and I'm like, for a Hot Wheels,
Yeah.
it's hard to pull a trigger on something that small for that kind of price.
I don't really, and again, all much respect to everyone who wants to collect the vintage stuff. I understand the love for it, absolutely understand it, but I don't do it. I don't seek out G1 stuff a lot, because, and I've mentioned it before, and in the same way I wouldn't want the original 12 Star Wars figures, because I think I enjoy collecting the stuff now that looks like what I thought I was playing with in the 80s.
Mm.
You know, like that G1 Megatron or Optimus Prime that just, they're bricks. You know, they don't do a whole lot. So I'd rather have like a third party or a masterpiece scale, or now with Studio Series 86, Kingdom, and War for Cybertron, something
Yeah.
that looks more like the figure that I was playing with in my imagination. And so I don't really have that desire to find the old stuff.
Yeah.
How many other figures in the Studio Series 86 figure I think they'll make, and how many more do you want? I don't know how many they're going to make. I want all of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, yeah. You can't just have if you've got that many so far, then you're just
But I know they won't. I can't imagine them redoing figures, so we probably won't get new cone heads. The characters that died in the beginning, we probably won't get a lot of those. We've gotten Ironhide and Ratchet and all that through War for Cybertron. As far as what I think they'll do in Studio Series 86, I hope they do the rest of the Dinobots.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will, especially at the scale they're doing Grimlock in. I think that would look really good. I'd like a Studio Series Wreck-Gar.
Wreck-Gar. Yes.
Really like a good Studio Series Wreck-Gar with the quality that they've done with the Smirking Bear. What else? Galvatron, which I think we're going to get Galvatron in.
Yes.
And they cross over for me. Like, for me, the Studio Series 86 stuff is a budgeting thing. I think they were running out of live action film characters to do, and they had a budget split, and they said, well, let's use some of that money and do a Studio Series movie figures, because they all fit into the War for Cybertron scale and everything. So I don't expect we'll get a Studio Series Ultra Magnus, because we got Siege and Kingdom Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, it's a nice figure. I don't mind that. It's a nice figure. Like it's okay.
Sure.
So, yeah. And then the repacks, like that's like the Optimus Prime with his trailer. Like it's a great figure. I love that figure for sure. It's such a and just a nice looking bit. Like it's like I could so fall down if I'm lucky. I can't find the stuff, because if I did, it would be game over. Like I'd easily shift a couple of my shelves away and just start stocking up on the Transformers. So I do want to go back up to if there was one figure, I would like a G1 Smokescreen, because he was my first. I have half of him left. I have from the waist down, the glasses punched out of his legs. Like it's just, you just hold him and he just wiggles like a really bad old version of C-3PO. But I've got the latest update one after watching your little plug with him. So
that's one of the few car masterpiece car bots I have, because I think that is just a good looking bot.
Oh man, yeah. I do like I like the cheap version. I don't get me wrong. I like this mold better than that first Prowl mold for sure. But I may have to look for one like that then. But yeah, the G1, I just for nostalgia's sakes, I think. So like you with your Sunstreaker, I think would be pretty rad to have.
Yeah, fantastic.
Nice. Really
Most
nice.
of my masterpiece stuff is third party, but this smoke screen is I really do like it. Not the easiest to transform, but
No.
Back up there, smokes.
Oh, Blue Harvest. Hey, Blue Harvest, how are you? Good to see you. Good morning. Yeah, good morning for you. Good late evening for us. Absolutely.
Everything's falling. Everything's falling now.
Yeah, I
Well, you
keep
don't-
my solo figures keep taking a shelf dive every night for the last 4 days because I gotta hit one of the joints, one of the ankle joints on one of my figures. He just kind of domino and everybody goes down. So
Classified Joes are like that. The one thing I think that they're missing out on all these like 6-inch Joes and stuff. They should every one of them should come with a disc stand.
yeah.
There's almost no excuse for that anymore.
No, there's not. See, Hasbro did this. The Dorito stand is, as I've coined a phrase with it, and the first one came with the Imperial Jump Trooper, and the foot spot was it was too enclosed, and so you couldn't put a foot in there, and he would just tumble. And so I think 3 figures. I think they did 3 figures with this stand. They did change the foot thing up. They should have just again put a peg in there, but ooh, yeah, these are just 3 and done, and that was it. So
if friggin' Funko Pops can come with a stand, then these 6-inch figures can come with a stand. I mean, I hate, like, it hurts my heart, and I haven't done it, to go out and buy figure stands because my stubborn ass just thinks they should come with it.
Oh, absolutely.
There is no excuse for these. Like, I'm looking up here now. I was looking at my Joes, and Duke is taking a dirt nap up there. And if I sneeze too loud, then Scarlet's going to fall down.
Yeah, I find he's probably the worst out of the entire line. Is that Scarlet figure? So I just just don't like it too much. So and she usually falls quite often. So
I probably won't get them, but I saw that Hasbro announced. I think Inutabi mentioned it earlier that I guess they kind of realized how crappy the video game was, and they're going to start releasing them with some darker, more realistic colors. I won't buy them all again, but
no. Scarlet, if I can find the Scarlet, I think she's the biggest change because they really did a number on the face on that one. I don't need another friggin' roadblock. And Duke's okay. I don't mind the gold on the Duke. If any figure should have maybe some gold, he'd be the one that I would think should have a little bit on him. But not enough to get him if he's got dirty shin pads or something. Because I don't even want to know why his shins are dirty. So
hey, you don't make it to the top for nothing.
Absolutely. Oh, here we go. 86 Perceptor or Blaster, maybe.
Yeah,
Perceptor.
That would definitely be good. I would be surprised if we didn't get Blaster in maybe a Generation Selects remold of Soundwave, although he should look fairly different than Soundwave. So yeah, I would like to, if they do that, I would love to see that in 86 Perceptor. I'd like to see in the 86 line. Oh man, there's trying to think villains. I mean, Scourge, Cyclonus, and Galvatron are the main go-tos there. But we've gotten the Quintessons. I'm not getting, but we're getting Unicron. So there's really not a whole lot they could do. Oh yeah, the Insecticons will be good.
Yeah, I'd be all right for it. Oh, Devastate 86 Devastator. Yeah, you know what?
They would just repackage Combiner Wars and throw an 86 movie thing. But I would like a better version of that. I would buy an 86 movie Devastator.
Yeah, I find with the Combiner Wars stuff, I was great. I just don't think they looked all that great when you assembled them all, unless you could get like a third party add-on kit and stuff like that to try to bulk them up. They just looked like they were skin and bones, more or less.
They
So
look so bad. There were a couple that were all right. Like I've got Victorion. I actually have her in the box still, just because I haven't put her on the shelf. That's a good one. Victorion was good. Um, the Dinobots were crap and
oh yeah,
embarrassments.
after those ones, and he put them together.
I'm looking forward to being able to put those Power of the Prime Dinobots from this shelf into a box somewhere and bury them in the desert as soon as we get all the 86 movie Dinobots.
Yeah, they were not not great at all. So yeah, eject, rewind, steel jaw, ram horn. Yep. You need the tapes for sure. Oh, here we go. Here's you need to do a video on that now. So
Do I though?
I don't think so. That's been out for a little while now, right? So
I've got a lot of stuff that I've still got stuff from Earthrise that I haven't reviewed. So like every time I get stuff, if something cooler comes out that I really want to get out and because for me reviewing, I'm just playing with it and showing off. To me, doing a review is the same as going over to a buddy's house and saying, "Hey, look what I got." You know, so it's. I've still got Airwave and Blue Streak. Oh, I haven't. Oh man, there's so many I haven't done. They'll fill in the blanks and get like 5 views down the road.
Yeah, that's where I'm like looking at going, well, there's no new Star Wars. I could review my GI, do the classified stuff. Maybe, and I might just because I think I did the Cobra Trooper. I think it was the only one, just because that was the figure that pulled me back into the line, because I had the Snake Eyes and I hated it because his knife wouldn't go all the way in his sheath, and I just got so frustrated. I'm like, why would you do something like that? So somebody I knew wanted him. I sold him off cheap, and then I came across Duke, Roadblock, and Scarlet, and they rang up at $10 a figure at Walmart. So I'm like, $30, so 3 for the price of 1. Okay, I'll buy those. And then Brandon, I don't know if he's still in the chat, he sent me another Snake Eyes, and he dremeled out the sheath so the knife fit all the way in. So I was like, all right. But then he sent me that Cobra Trooper, and I was like, oh, you bugger. Because then I'm like, okay, yep, I'm in. I need more. So
Yeah, it was funny. I got the collector's edition or whatever it was, the first one of the Snake Eyes that they did, the big box set that had basically all the accessories that come with the Red Ninja.
yes,
And the stand, the little weapon stand. And that one's fine. That the knife goes in there just fine. Everything's perfect. The other I've got the other Snake Eyes. I've left him in the box as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not coming out of that one. Although I do like the paint apps on the 00 one, because I do like the silver face.
Yeah.
Face
I really like that one.
and then what is he? Kind of like almost like a gray camo.
Yeah, he's camo gray. Got him right here. Little camo gray.
Yeah.
Really good looking figure.
Yeah.
Really good looking figure. Doing the old salute. Now I've got to see if he'll stand back up. All right. Nobody move. He's fine.
Ooh, Blitzwing. Blitzwing might not be a too bad of one. Although he was fairly recent too. Didn't he get done?
Yeah, he was in Titan's Return, I think.
So,
but that doesn't mean anything. A lot of the figures that we've gotten have been in Titan's Return. I think Titan's Return was the last Scourge we got too. So it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. I think, was it Raziel said Studio Series 86 Kranix? That would be cool. I just don't think it's going to happen since we got that little immovable Kranix with the Quintesson.
right.
Cool. Yeah, I don't really. I think. I mean, anything they don't have. I guess the good thing about the 86 movie line is, and this is a pet peeve that's just happened over time, I don't really care for the little small blast effect pegs that are just all over the bodies, like on,
Yeah.
especially on Cyclonus, it stands out so much there on his chest. But I'm glad the 86 line doesn't have those like on the body.
Yeah.
It would look looks a lot smoother that way.
Yeah.
The crossover line we need is G.I. Joe Transformers. Yeah, some of the old stuff that we had, the non-transforming crossover, I've almost picked up a couple times. Power Glide as the Rattler, as Soundwave.
Yeah.
I think Soundwave was a Hiss Tank. What else did they have? Yeah, that's the two that I remember the most. Soundwave as a Hiss Tank and Power Glide as a Rattler. Yeah, those were really cool. But yeah, I would love to see transforming versions of that didn't suck.
Yeah. I could do without, the Back to the Future stuff. Like GI Joe stuff. I think, yeah, the vehicles like that wouldn't be too bad at all. I'd be in for that. I'd like to get, see if I can get it right. Is it the Rolling Thunder that they did a Prime? Is it Rolling Thunder? Mike got
Yeah. Was it?
Is it?
I think TFC did that too. TFC Toys. It's the Tactical Commander or something like that. It's the Rolling Thunder Prime. It is gorgeous. I want that. I think Larkin's Lair. I think he got it and it looks amazing. The newer version. I definitely want that. That's probably going to be one that I go back and get if I can find it in stock.
Yeah,
Hound would be a good one.
Yeah.
Hound Vamp would be cool. Raziel, I agree. I would like a 6-inch line of Daniel Spike, Sparkplug. I would like the human characters. I think there's a third-party company doing that.
Ooh.
Right now. I think I've seen Carly and Spike at the 6-inch, I believe. But yeah, I'd love to see like a classified series style human characters. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
The Fairborn would be awesome. I would love to see a Dr. Arkable. That would be great. I would love all those. I think third party is going to be a nice little home for some of that stuff. Oh, Inutabi said Circuit Breaker. That would probably have to be third party because I think Circuit Breaker is still owned by Marvel.
Oh.
I think Marvel Comics still owns Circuit Breaker, but I would love a Circuit Breaker as well. It was a really, really cool character. Yeah, and they're doing a Despoiler Megatron, and it looks fantastic too. Yeah, those look great. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that set. Take care, TK.
Working again. All right, buddy. Yeah, we'll hopefully catch you Saturday. I haven't got the time 100% set, but at some point. So that's going to be a whirlwind. So we get rid of all that stuff, the backpacks and the extra figures and the gift cards, and then my basement will be a little bit more clean. So I need it gone. So I can start stocking up for another or something or other. But yeah, Bear, it's rough, man. Like, anytime I see some of Mike's stuff or Kato's, and I'm just like, oh, that is just a gorgeous chunk of, because they're so much better again than the stuff when we were kids, because they actually look like they did that what we saw on the TV, instead of going like what that, like Optimus Prime's got an open back and he looks a little strange, and Megatron looks like he's been riding a horse sideways for most of his life, and
I'm really happy to see you.
Yes. Oh yeah, very happy. So, and then like Ratchet and I think Ratchet and Ironhide were probably two of the absolute worst ones, with just a windshield for a face. Like
that is the
whoa, so nice. I'd love to get some of those.
80s marketing of them wanting to buy just random figures and throw into the Transformers line. You know, made much more sense for Ratchet and Ironhide to be mechs than full-on robots. But yeah, it was, especially after you see the cartoon. Like, you see the cartoon, then you go to the store to buy Ratchet, and you're like, what the is this?
Yeah. That would be good. I would probably consider buying a Bruticus out of Cobra Vehicles. That would be pretty sweet looking, I think.
If I
So
was talented enough, that would be a great set of customs to make.
yeah.
But I am not, and here
No,
we are.
no. Like I said, my customizing consists of either popping off a head and hopefully seeing if it fits on another peg and going, "Yep, that's good enough." There we go.
Too
So
lazy to do that. Too lazy to do it. I want the figure to be what it's supposed to be when I buy it. That's just because I'm not good at customizing. We were talking about Mike earlier. He needs to get off his butt. I need to get him on an episode of Presents.
yes,
I
yes.
emailed him a while back. He's too famous.
Oh, hey, if he'll do he has to absolutely get onto yours for sure. So that'd make for some really deep, because I just the amount, and especially his prime shelf. You got a nice prime shelf going on. So I mean, you guys could probably just do a stream just about Optimus Prime figures, for God's sake. So
his collection is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Well, that's what I hate to say it, but that's when you're a dink. That's double income, no kids. That's what that stands for. So when you have no kids and it's just you and your better half, there you go. So I'll give you a high five right there, because I mean, some days I really get.
Considering since like March of 2019, we're basically I'm a sink. But typically, yeah, I'm a dink. I could take that.
Yep. I heard that a few weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know a few of those people, yeah, that have like almost anything you could probably, yeah, I get it, but yeah, no, we'll get there again. I got one kid will be out hopefully in about 4 more years, and then I'll be able to take over more of the basement and put more shelving up and expand or whatever. But I'm happy with the space that I got now, because this was the Lego corner for forever. And again, if you go back to my old stuff and see the orange walls and the little orange shelf, that was over a year and a half of my 2 years on YouTube was that. And sitting in my lazy boy and doing my reviews from there with my phone on a tripod, and you made it work, and now it looks a lot better. So
oh yeah, we're a YouTube household here. She has a channel, I have a channel. We're all doing stuff. She does like clothing, nothing, completely different audience.
Yeah,
she does like clothing hauls and stuff like that.
Yeah, my wife's
it's ridiculous, man. I've been doing this been doing this 2 years. I finally made it over 2,000 subscribers. You made it to the 1,000. She was at like 5,000 in like 3 months.
What? Holy jumping cripes.
She's been doing it for, I don't know, maybe I exaggerated a little bit, but only a little bit.
Yeah.
I think she's at 5,700 subscribers, and she's been doing it for maybe 5 months, maybe something like that. Yeah, ridiculous.
Maybe I'll start going clothes shopping. Maybe that'd be a new segment on my channel. Getting holy jumping.
Well, I mean,
my wife.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh,
so she's really good at it.
Yeah, my wife doesn't. She's not a collector. She's a very practical person. So she, I'm very grateful that I wouldn't say tolerate. That's not the right word to use, but she got pretty for me and about, oh, hey, good for you. You hit the 1,000. And she's like, oh, I saw you got some super chat. I was like, yeah, I did. I was like, that was really neat and stuff like that. So she's got the interest there, and she just knows that all I do, regardless if there were COVID is happening still or not. I mean, all it would consist of would be going to the newest Marvel film, if it was out, go to toy shows whenever I could get out there. And then maybe a convention or two here and there. Other than that, I don't really go out of the house. So, I don't have to worry about wandering eyes or anything like that, because the only thing my eyes might wander to might be another 6-inch figure, not a 6-foot figure. So, that's a safer bet right there. So,
yeah, I've been, Yeah, yeah, believe me, I get it. Her audience, and again, she's really good at what she does too. Like she is fantastic at what she does. And women that follow her, they like clothes. And with I tell her too, I said, one thing about doing Transformers and collectible stuff is that there is a time frame that matters.
Yes.
Whether you like to admit it or not. And I like to review stuff no matter when I can get it or when it gets in hand. But there is a bit of a race there if you're wanting to get attention.
Yeah.
The earlier you get something, the more the more it's going to hit the search engine and the algorithm.
Absolutely.
With clothing, it's just not that way. It's just you don't have that kind of deadline, not in the same way.
Yeah.
And again, she's good at it. People, there's a lot more women that want to buy clothes than there are guys that want to buy toys. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I look at the maybe 10 videos might be high, maybe 8. If I look at the maybe 8 videos that I have that actually have broken over 1,000 views, those were things that I managed to somehow track down early before anybody in the States had. And then that was like, okay, there's a slight window. Now, maybe I didn't tag it properly enough, or again, because the channel was still pretty small that, but I mean, I think my highest one, I think is 2,500 views, I think is what I got. Is my highest one. So, and I think it was the Jar Jar Binks figure of all the figures, because I hate that character with a passion. But of course, he's the one who's got the most views on my channel so far. So it's either that one or the speeder bike with the child. One of the two is my top one. So
it's very weird what gets hits and what doesn't. You never know. I told someone it's kind of like having a kid. I would imagine. Don't have any that I know of, but like you go get something, you review it, and then you put it out there on the internet. You're basically sending it out into the world, and whatever happens to it happens to it.
Yep.
And like that one really somewhat simple comparison video I was talking about before. It was, I think, sitting at almost 39,000 views right now.
wow.
It is a ridiculous amount of views. I mean, I don't even have something else even remotely close to that.
Yeah.
Like the next closest thing is like 8,000 views. And for that to hit that, I don't know what happened. I don't know where it went in the world for that to get that way, but it keeps going, and it died off and was fairly normal, and then last month it just skyrocketed again, and I was getting like 200 views or so every couple days on it. It's the weirdest thing. It's also the one that people complain about the most. But
yeah, I will say that the only thing I don't, and maybe it's just because again, it's that I'm only at the 1,000, and whether or not, I mean, obviously not all 1,000 subscribers watch all the time. Some of them probably don't watch at all because they're just like, oh yeah, oh, he's doing a giveaway, yeah, I'll subscribe, and then forgets about it or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Thank you. You still got me over the hump. I'm not going to complain. And then I can keep building it from there. But I've been lucky that, I mean, any shade that gets thrown, people don't have the balls to put it out in the thing. I will leave it out there. I don't really care, but it's all instant messages through Instagram or emails, because I do have my email out there or whatever, in case, oh, hey, you're looking for something, I might be able to help out, or vice versa or whatever. And that's where they like to throw the shade. It's very personal. So it's just like, you know what, whatever, into the trash can you go. If you haven't got the cojones to throw the crap out there, then it's not worth my time to even bother with it anymore. So,
and I haven't really gotten a whole bunch of like hateful stuff. There's one dude out there that I won't mention a name because he's not worth the time of day, that just won't stop. But hey, Jedi, but he's irrelevant. Like they don't bother me. They don't. It's like it just doesn't matter. As far as comments go, I haven't really gotten any like wackadoo comments. Like the ones that I've gotten on that video were just meet people saying that I didn't twist Cheetor's legs around. Fine.
Yeah.
Got me. I don't care. It's like cool.
Yeah.
And the Black Arachnia thing, which to me is just funny. Like it's are you this worried? Like this is a toy. Like I understand that I'm having fun doing this.
Yep.
But it's a fucking toy, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just calm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I didn't transform it right, I'm okay with criticism too. Like, because there's been some times where people have said like, "Hey, if you do this," because I'll complain about something, and turns out that I was doing it wrong. Like, oh, the articulation on this isn't that good, and then somebody will comment in a kind way, right? Don't be a condescending prick, and say, "Hey, if you do this, then blah blah blah." And I've been like, "Oh, dude, thanks so much." And I pinned the comment up top, hoping that it might help somebody else or whatever. But just don't be a condescending prick. Just stop. If you're gonna be that, just don't even comment. Move on. Go back to your mom's basement.
Yes. Well, yeah, without a doubt. So, Razel, I will say, I think you spelled shit wrong. You got the T, the I, and you've got the right letters, but you just spelled it wrong. So, that's as far as I'm going to try to change your mind with that. So, it's a good figure. It's not a great figure. The accessories make no sense that he came with, because if you say Jar Jar Binks, I don't picture him with a giant golden spear and a shield or a booma tossing thing, because he's such a friggin' klutz. But I think that mold got done because we will see a Captain Tarpals probably in the future, and they will easily rip off some of that mold to make that figure. But again, that's just my opinion. So I could do with less Jar Jar in my life for sure. But he's here, and he's here to stay. So can't be any worse than episode 8, and I'm gonna put a hammer down on that too. So, because that might put up an uproar a little bit with a few people. Although I don't know how many people will argue that episode 8 is good, but then there you go. So, because
I don't even think I've seen the latest. What was the last Star Wars?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. I don't know that I actually finished. I don't know that I'll watch that one. I don't know why I didn't. When did it come out? Was it? It wasn't during the pandemic, right?
No. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I would say. I mean, it's fine. Like and that's such a bad way to sum up a movie. But the fact that you can literally go from episode 7 right to 9, you don't even need to see 8, because they virtually, I think they said the Holdo maneuver or something, just one quick little reference, and that was it. So it was kind of like, and I always say, it's like JJ comes in, he basically takes episode 4, mixes it up a little bit, throws in some young, fresh faces, and goes boom. Everybody eats it up. I enjoyed it. It was fine, because it was more, I think, set to get a younger audience back into Star Wars. And then you should have written the entire bloody story, broken it up into 3 pieces. Not, here's a story, and then it was kind of like Ryan Johnson was like, poo-poo on all your stuff, JJ, and he just shit-canned a bunch of his stuff, and then JJ comes back and goes, well, I guess I got to pull my old stuff back out and, fix some of the crap that happened in the last movie, and whatever. Right? I don't know.
What's crazy is there's so much, and I'm no expert, but there is so much good Star Wars stuff that's not canon anymore, that were better stories than they were remotely trying to tell.
Yeah.
You've got the new twins, the Dark Jedi, all this stuff that they could have gone into, and it would have been what fans wanted to see because they've read about it. It's like, I don't understand. Marvel did it well. Pretty well, and then of course they've taken a turn that annoys the piss out of me. But like there's canon out there that, what is the freaking problem with a director and a writer saying, hey, people have loved this for decades, in book form and in whatever. Let's take this and give them that on screen.
Yes.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Just do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Bayverse did the same thing. He literally could have live action filmed the 86 movie.
Mm-hmm.
And people would have been like, thank God, this is awesome. This is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
And it's like, you've got all the books and stuff out there from Star Wars. Like I said, the was it Han's twin? Again, I'm not an expert, so
Yeah, he had the twins, and then there was so much, and
was it the Gray Jedi? Is that what they're called?
Thrawn Saga was really good as well, and sounds like now they're going to retcon. At least they're going to pull him back in, and he's going to end up either being in they mentioned him in the second season of Mandalorian. Thrawn came up, right? So I mean, and they've casted the guy who did the voiceover or did the cartoon voice. He's actually going to play the live action version of him now, which is fantastic. Genius. Yeah, Jason, and
there you go.
There we go.
Exactly that. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's stories like that even me as a casual fan, I've seen all the movies and I still can't. It's like I blocked it out. I can't remember if I've seen the last one or not for some reason. But like I enjoy it because I enjoy science fiction. Movies. Like even as a casual Star Wars fan, I can sit down. And the thing is, fans like me who are slightly casual can tend to enjoy it more, right? I don't have as much invested in it, right? It's the same folks that like, a particular anything. But like for me to not have as much invested in the lore, you would think it would be easier for me to enjoy it. And even me as a casual fan can go, the fuck are y'all doing?
Oh yeah.
Like it's just bad storytelling.
Yep. And there's more casual fans than hardcore fans out there as well. So
like it just makes no sense to me with so much good fiction that exists out there. Just give the screenwriters a couple years worth of comic books or fiction from the shelf and make that like Knights of the Old Republic. Again, as a casual Star Wars fan, Knights of the Old Republic is one of the best video games out there.
Yeah.
Bring that to the live action.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm just getting ready to start. I've had the book with me at work for like a week or so, but this is the new one that's come out, the Light of the Jedi one. So, and this is supposed to take back way in the past type of thing. So I'm looking forward to starting this. Hopefully maybe tomorrow I'll actually get around to starting to read an actual book instead of doing book on tape, but that's not,
audio book. Yeah, I love those. I don't have the patience to sit and read anymore. But when I do travel for work, I normally drive 6 or so hours to whatever destination, and then I spend a lot of time driving while I'm on the job or whatever. And then so I'll have an audio book. I'll normally buy a new audio book each trip.
Yeah. And I've got a few that I just keep on repeat or whatever.
Have you ever read completely off subject, but have you ever read American Gods?
I haven't. I've never. I have the audio book for it, and I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh man, not for the kiddos. Definitely not for the kiddos. But man, what just an awesome story that is. The TV series is somewhat trash, but the book, wow, what a great book. What a neat take on that whole thing. I won't ruin anything, but it's really good.
Saving that for when my work goes back to normal, because when my schedule starts up to normal again, it's like 3 to 11:30. So then I'll actually be able to put on my Bluetooth speaker on my thing and go do my whatever and just kind of disappear for 8 hours, get my stuff done, and then call it a day, because I'm literally 12-minute drive from home. Like, it's by the time I get something up and running or whatever, it's just like in the driveway, turn the car off, go in the house. So until work goes back to normal, I'm just like, nope, I'll hold off on the book for now. And there's a couple other ones I think I've got kind of sitting off to the side as well that I have to get through. But it's like, again, I got lots of time. It's just when my work schedule goes back to normal again. So,
Yeah. And I mean, we're getting the one thing we are getting is, of course, the TV fiction. Mandalorian is some great storytelling. Like to take the space samurai story and turn it into a space western genius. It's just they've done such a good job with that. I'm hoping they don't oversaturate in the next bit, but if they can keep the quality up, I'm all for it. I wouldn't care if they stopped making movies and just kept making series as good as they're doing now.
No, without a doubt. I mean, with the amount of Star Wars stuff that they announced, I just I'm looking forward to whenever the Kenobi series comes out, and it's apparently only going to be, I think, maybe a season and like at 4 episodes type of thing. And apparently Liam Neeson has announced that he would like to come back and maybe as a Force ghost, possibly would be pretty rad. I think, since.
Well, I think the concept, if they're doing what I think they're doing, and like, okay, so it takes so long. They drop Mandalorian once a week for 6 weeks, 8 weeks,
8
weeks.
I think,
and then you have basically at least a full year because they're saying the next season won't be until December. December of 21, I think. And if they're doing if they do a bunch of smaller stuff, and Marvel's done it before, to where you have like 4 episodes here of this, 5 episodes here, so that all year long you have, interconnecting, and unique Star Wars content. Yeah, I'm fine with that. That seems great.
Oh yeah. I'm still. Have you been watching the WandaVision?
Oh yeah, I really like it. I know a lot of people I know that some people don't, but it's intriguing to me. I can't wait to see where they're going with it. I've got my theories. But I was also a big Dick Van Dyke and I Love Lucy fan and all that. So I kind of like what they're doing there.
Yeah, I need to watch it again. Like I've been starting to watch a few little YouTube things to some of the little Easter eggs that I just completely went. So I need to watch it now that I've watched a few of those videos to catch, because I know I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably, and he could. So I mean,
when you get little Easter eggs in there, like spoiler alert to anybody who cares. I'm not going to explain anything, but like you see a character and you're like, wait, is that the beekeeper? That's neat. And then, you see and hear a few things and some things that they say and do. You're just like, those are nice little Easter eggs. I wonder if they mean what I think they mean, or if they're just Easter eggs for Easter egg's sake. And, even back when, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on, I love that show. They kind of went away from it being interacting with the movie verse that much, which is what I really liked about it. But like to have something like that on Netflix now, to where you could watch it as it is, and maybe it doesn't need to make sense with anything else, but it still fits in to everything. It's a great way to introduce new characters.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've just started.
I really enjoyed it, and I know the concept of it. Like people were saying, "Oh, it's only 25 minutes long," but from what I understand, the length of the episode will change based on the theme of the episode.
Yes.
So these last 2 were 25 minutes long because Dick Van Dyke and I Love Lucy were 25 minutes long. The what was I Love Lucy, I think, was the first sitcom. I think they were the first multi-camera sitcom.
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah.
I think that's it. I absolutely love that era of comedy television. I think it's
yeah. Yes, I do as well, for sure. Let's see if we get any. I don't know. I think everybody's just I think we're talking back and forth.
David Carell said he'd like a Lone Wolf and Cub space story. Yeah, it's like a idea of making Lone Wolf and Cub was fantastic. Oh, such a good story.
Yep. Yeah.
Such a great story. That
Right.
reminds me, I want to. I've heard rumors that they're going to do a "Why the Last Man" series, and I would love that. Have you ever read that comic?
No, I have not read that one.
Oh man, that's a great comic. It's from the. I think it started in the '90s. Trying to remember when I started reading that. Basically, everyone with a Y chromosome is gone, destroyed, except for one guy and a male monkey. And it's basically he's living on a planet of females. Yeah, it was a great comic.
Dang, I may have to. I haven't read. I haven't read really any in a while. Like I was pretty hardcore collecting, and then, and I've said out here before, I sold my comics off to buy my wife's engagement ring. So
Yeah, I sold mine to buy a motorcycle, so similar.
yes, exactly. Good ride, right? So no,
Yeah.
I think.
Mike says he's more of a Dick Van Dyke kind of. Yeah, I love Dick Van Dyke.
Oh,
Absolutely love
here, call him out right now. He's in the chat. Call him out.
Mike. You and me, you've got to come on. I'm calling you out, son. Noon in the streets. I don't know what that means, but you got to come on Presents. You got to come on the show, Mike. Aren't we friends now? Can't we be friends? I need you.
Yep.
Oh.
See, there we go. Put you on the spot there.
Did that sound too desperate? Was that too desperate?
No, I think that went over just enough. You could splash a little. I'm starting to take it real personal that that you won't come on and talk to me. So
It's it sounds like I'm making it sound like I've invited him multiple times and he said no. I think I mentioned it briefly once.
Here we go.
No one ever asked me. I did ask you. I asked you at least once, but you know, I was shy about it. I didn't commit. It's my fault.
There we go. Everybody's opening up. Feelings are being explored, and there we go. I should charge an hourly rate for this, maybe. So forget monetization. I'll just have a couple of guys come over here, and we can work through some of this.
Linda says Kato versus Mike fight to the death. No, I'm a coward. Although I don't know where Mike lives, but I may live in a more protect yourself friendly zone.
He's California.
Oh, come on. I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. I do love the accents more down in the south than out in the west. So, oh, there you go.
You got to commit. We'll hug it out. All right, you got it. Virtual hug. Canadian Blu-ray's got a question. Collecting goals for 2021. I think I did a video on this some time ago, or at least a little bit ago. It was, I think mine is, and I think I said it last year too, but streamline, and that is be able to say no to something. Like I did it a little better this year, but a lot more cool stuff came out. Like I dipped into the Masters of the Universe stuff, which I think I'm done with, at least until Masterverse comes out, the 7-inch line.
Oh yeah,
I have a hard time with that. Like, no Marvel Legends. I've decided not to collect every single G.I. Joe classified figure. Just the ones that I really want, which is still most of them. It is definitely still most of them, but just not a lot of duplicates. Like I wouldn't get 3 Cobra Commanders again, or I'm not going to troop build. So one Viper, one Trooper. And I again did better this year on that, but not trying to just complete the line of Kingdom or War for Cybertron just because. So I didn't go into all the Gen Select stuff. If it didn't look really cool or mean something, I didn't get it.
No, that's I don't think I could have probably said that really much better. I will say, I mean, mind you, Black Series came out with like 9 releases this past year, and I know I bought at least 92 Star Wars figures last year. because I the ones I vowed I wouldn't. Oh, the re-release of the Empire, and I laughed, going, ah ha ha, the suckers are gonna have to buy all those figures, and I was that sucker, so I was like, yep. But I backed off. Power Rangers, Transformers. I was getting into the Fortnite figures, and I was like, no, we gotta cut that out. Marvel Legends. I had a massive Legends collection before I got into Black Series, and then I fell into Mike's channel and was like, oh, Star Wars. You like Star Wars? That's my first. Why am I? And I was all MCU. I was just doing Marvel Universe figures, and I had a pretty big, and I just was like, nope. Now I've got 5 or 6, and that was that little gag. My top 20, my top 5 Marvel Legends of 2020. It was the only 5 that I have in my collection. So, oh, bugger off! You know what? You get blamed for the Black Series. So Brian takes it for the convention.
I was the same way. I was Marvel Legends. I know I'm more of a Marvel guy. Like I love Marvel stuff. Like I'm obviously a fan. I've got it permanently attached to me. Love Spider-Man like every other. I'm not unique there. Everybody loves Spider-Man, but like I've got a nice little Marvel Legends Spider-Man shelf and got more in storage. But I had to I really wanted to get some Transformers, and I thought because there's like a Marvel Legend being released every week, it seems like, and there were a bunch of characters that I didn't care about at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just, I wanted to build a figure, but I didn't want to get some figure that I didn't care about in order to do it. So I didn't like the whole setup there. So I was like, I'm going to start doing Transformers. I can just buy what I want. And I apparently wanted a lot.
Yeah.
And then I discovered third-party stuff. And I was like, oh, man, this is phenomenal. And it went from there. So I kind of gave up on Legends to get into Transformers. And I try to tell myself, if I go down another rabbit hole, I've got to give something else up.
Yes. Yep.
Didn't work that well this year because a lot of cool stuff came out and nothing I wanted to give up. So that's I think that's my goal for the year is to kind of stick a little. Like I gave up the McFarlane Batman stuff. I was almost all in on that. They look awesome. I hate passing them by. I love the look of Hasbro's Power Ranger stuff, but I grab one every time I go to the store and I put it back. But so there just has to be a limit somewhere.
Oh, for sure. Like Power Rangers, I started heavy and I got rid of everything. And then somebody sent me in the Green Ranger from the Green Ranger Putty 2-pack, and that one figure just pulled me. And then Mike has helped me out. So then I was like, you know what? The only real solid attachment to the Rangers I have really would be Mighty Morphin, Turbo a little bit. Like the first few iterations that had, like I liked Tommy. He was, of course, the Green Ranger, White Ranger, the Red, Black, whatever. So I was like, maybe I'll just do Tommy figures. So I got the White Ranger, and then and I'm like, no, you know what? Now anything that's not Mighty Morphin or Tommy, it all kind of went. And then a couple other exclusives that weren't able to find here at first, and then they showed up. So again, Mike helped me out big time with that. And then I was like, I have to stop that. The Rangers, Marvel. I mean, Mike sent me Worthy Captain America. He's my favorite character. So I'm like, I need him. That's why I'm really drawn to your Captain America Optimus Prime. But and then I got the Red Hulk just because he's just so ridiculously huge.
He looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah, Venom will build a figure.
Yeah.
I found a few pieces, and I'm like, I have no attachment to any of the symbiotes or whatever, but damn it, that's not just the most ridiculous looking thing with the samurai swords and the tongue hanging out. So I went all in on that, and then I literally sold all the figures off for $10 a figure because I didn't care about any of them. I just like go away, and then I said that was it. And then Rhino Hobbies in here, he sent me Jim Lee, the ex Rogue, in the Jim Lee green, and love Rogue. I've always been a huge fan of her, so I'm like, yeah, I kind of want that one too. And then that was it. I'm like, I don't. They're on just a little shelf above my chair. And I'm like, if I have no room for them there, then they go. But all my Rangers are packed up right now. Like I said, some of the more expensive Transformers that Mike cleared from his collection and sent to me, those are just boxed and put away for now until I can really put them in a good place. So, and it's just like, plus, and then Tron's near and dear to my heart. So I've been trying to find, a little bit of that. And then there's the Common Riders. I have Common Rider, and I've never seen a Common Rider. I don't know what a Common Rider is, but it was a good deal. It was one of those, I better just buy it because it was really good. But I think that one might be so.
Yeah. Sometimes you just buy what looks cool. Like for me, I would, if I were to do the Marvel Legends, I would want to do very specific things. I would want the 90s X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want the Jim Lee animated 90s X-Men. Yeah, just like Inutabi there. I'm not doing it, but that's what I would do.
Yeah.
And I would want, if I was going to do Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin would be what I wanted because that's what I remember. If I was going to do, I still buy the occasional Spider-Man Marvel Legend just because. But I would like to do, if I were to do multiple Spider-Man like a set, I would want to do the animated series from the 90s characters.
Oh, they were really nice. And on the card, like you couldn't take those off out of the card on those.
They look so good.
That Kingpin just is considering it was just the Build-A-Figure done in the 90s. I was man, because I love the Kingpin figure, was fantastic, and just seeing him in those ridiculous colors was like, yep, that's something I'd love to have again. But I passed on the whole line.
Yeah, and again, there's characters within there that I wouldn't want, but I would want to build the Kingpin and end up having something that I don't care about. I've got 3 or 4 half-built Build-A-Figures over the years just sitting in the closet that I don't care about building the whole thing.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Here's one for you. Ooh.
I have very high expectations and high hopes. I'm going to throw this out there. A lot of people, maybe including me, have a problem with the direction some of the Marvel universe is going. It seems a bit pandery to me, rather than good storytelling. They're just trying to shift things up where things don't need to be shifted. But I think if there was ever a reason to have that type of storytelling in a series, it would be X-Men. That's where I think that story belongs. That's where the diversity, that's where the civil rights stuff, that's where the social justice type stories absolutely hit home, because the X-Men was always about that. It was always about that.
Yeah.
The people that fear and hate us, it was absolutely 100% a civil rights story.
Yep.
And
yep.
I think if there's ever a place to do that where the fans won't start rolling their eyes, it would be in there. What Marvel did so well in those stories is they substituted in a way that, because you think about when they came out, civil rights was a huge issue when X-Men came out, and for them to take something that says, okay, we're not going to make this a white and black issue.
Yes.
Hey, Ty, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new race of beings that all humans can hate, and you guys get to see how stupid it is.
Yeah.
You know, and that was what's great about those older X-Men stories and some of the best X-Men stories. You know, about, you got Magneto and his whole origin. I have very high expectations of that. I hope that, again, I hope all they do is take some of the greatest comic stories from the past and translate that into live action, similar to what they did in the Avengers. I hope that they do great spin-offs like they did in the Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do what I would imagine is they will work their way up to Avengers versus X-Men, just because it fits to what's going on in universe to make it all make sense. But I I think that what Marvel did better than anyone else, a close second being Spider-Man, is they showed that you can have ridiculously colorful, genuine comic book characters on screen and people will accept it as long as the story's good. So you don't have to have the X-Men in black leather. You don't have to have real world looking costumes. You can have ridiculous costumes and make it work.
Yep.
So a lot of high hopes for that, for sure. And I hope they completely erase. They disregard completely the previous X-Men movies. Not that they were terrible, just start over.
Hard to go back and watch, that's for sure. So
even the good ones, you're like,
yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I think I will say I've never been a big X-Men guy. I appreciated it for what it was. I never bashed them. I just, again, it was Batman on one side and it was Captain America on the other, which are kind of almost two completely different people, but almost kind of the same, just opposite halves or whatever. So those were the stories I really stuck to, and any of the spin-offs there. And then US Agent, and not Nomad so much for Captain America, but I went really, really deep for Batman. I had probably a 700 run of Batman, so pretty close to 700, because I backtracked and I went all the way to about issue 150, all the way through like Hush and like some of the big storylines, and I just fell down just so deep with Batman, where that was my previous collection before this. Is I was into the Batman the Animated Series, the updated figures, and hearing that there's strong rumors that there might be a sequel cartoon coming out, possibly, which is just so good. So but I agree.
Do you have HBO Max? Do you have, like, have you watched? Yeah, like I recently binged, because I'd never finished the final season of Young Justice on there. It's a fantastic series. Like the DC animated stuff is some of the best writing in the world as far as comic books go. And I've always liked Batman. I'm definitely more of a Marvel guy, but there's a lot of the DC stories that I really do love. Batman to me always felt like a Marvel character. I think because he's one of the few that kind of has that Marvel type of origin, the somewhat tragic, no real weakness. Because the big Marvel DC thing is, originally, for the most part, you had in DC these strong characters that had genuine weaknesses. Superman and Kryptonite, Green Lantern and Yellow. You had these definitive things that made you powerless, but other than that, you were pretty much unstoppable. Where Marvel was more flaw related, like you had internal flaws that were your weakness, right? Spider-Man had his guilt. Rogue, her biggest weakness was she could become pretty much as powerful as she wanted to be, but she could never touch anyone. So they're much more like internal weaknesses and character flaws that made them. And I think Batman fit into that a lot more than he fit into the DC world in general.
Oh yeah, I
So
absolutely agree. So that's why I'm kind of looking forward to Moon Knight, because I think Moon Knight's. I mean, he's got a lot more mental issues and the whole bit going on, but just the whole rest of it, I'm like, yeah, it's white Batman, you know. So I'm like, yeah, that's so great. So and now to see Oscar Isaacs has been cast as him, so I'm hoping that series is really good. I'm looking forward to that one as well. So I mean, again, it's Marvel's ball. It's what are you know, like, either you're gonna start pumping a lot more in. I mean, Feige is just, I mean, the dude pisses gold, for God's sakes. So you know, but so far with the TV series, like the Disney Plus stuff, has been fantastic. I look forward to seeing whatever else comes out. And to think back previous, I don't think I would have said that over the past 10 years. But prior, it would have been, you know, well, DC all hardcore all the way, you know, but to see what DC's been limping out as whatever, like, I like some of their casting choices. Don't get me wrong, the films have been no good. I thought Affleck was fantastic as Batman. Cavill, I'm a little on the fence.
Well,
Gal Gadot, I thought she was really good.
They were great in the universe they created.
Yeah.
But Cavill, like Henry Cavill, however you want to say his name, I love him as an actor, and I love him as Superman physically.
Yes.
He was just written terribly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no need to make him. He was basically super strong Batman. He was all grumpy and I loved, you know, in the 90s, I absolutely loved the Death of Superman storyline where, you know, he came back and he was a little more emo and dark, a little darker when he came back after dying. But when you're bringing him into the only reason that worked is because you had decades of Boy Scout Superman, you know, and the movies didn't give you that. Immediately it came in with like dark and dreary and sad and melancholy Superman, and they didn't give us a reason to care about him being that way yet.
No.
I think for the universe that they created, they were good. But again, I think they were a little afraid to make a Christopher Reeve Superman, like the super Boy Scout hero guy. I guess Brandon Ruth, whatever was the closest thing. And honestly, up until the last like 10 minutes of that movie, I really liked it. I really liked the Brandon Routh Superman movie up until I despise when they make Superman able to withstand any amount of kryptonite.
Yes.
It's like it's his only weakness, man. Like, he can't will himself suddenly to carry a state-sized piece of kryptonite. That was horrible. Especially since he's supposed to be the same Superman that was completely crippled in a swimming pool by a necklace of kryptonite.
Exactly. And then the stories were just, I mean, that was the thing. It's all about real estate. Like, you know, ultimately all the movies were real estate involved, more or less. And it's just like, oh, he's got so many great villains, and it's always Lex Luthor. Why does it always have to be Lex Luthor? Like, throw some other guys out there, or you make it like this takes place after the death of Superman, so he's back. So then you can throw in like guys like the Eradicator, and
or at least give us a Lex Luthor that is on par with the animated Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Like, animated Lex Luthor is a fantastic villain. Yeah, fantastic villain. Ty's Throwback says he feels that they do too many redos, like Spider-Man's being redone and Batman. I get that feeling, but I don't feel that way at all, because I grew up reading comic books, and every few years you get a new artist, a new story, and to me it's just another comic book universe. I don't care if I got 5 different Spider-Man movies or Batman movies in 5 years, to me, it's no different than an Elseworlds comic book or a multiverse story. Doesn't bother me at all. A good Brainiac would be good. I know that was where
Hello.
supposed to be going. I
Yeah.
love Metallo. I want the only way Superman works. Some of the best Superman stories in comics have been character related, like the deeper struggle of Clark Kent and Superman. But you can't have a movie about Superman and not give him a villain that is worth fighting. My favorite Superman movie, or my favorite Superman moment on screen, 100% hands down, is Justice League. What was this? The second, not Justice League the animated series. It was Justice League Unlimited.
Yep.
When he took on Darkseid towards the end of that series, one of the best moments in that entire series that summed up how awesome Superman really is. I love Superman, by the way, one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yeah.
When he's fighting Darkseid and he gives his little soliloquy of how he always has to hold back for fear of breaking something or hurting someone or going too far, and he always has to walk on eggshells. And then he looks at him. He says, "But not you. You can take it, can't you, big guy?" And he says, "What we have here is the rare opportunity for me to cut loose." And that moment, that was like one of the best Superman moments in comics, cartoons, or what have you. And that's the kind of villain you need for a movie. And he said it. He started cutting loose, and that's the kind of villain you need for Superman.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, going up against a mad super bald genius billionaire, if he's maybe involved and he comes up with some portal to let him through, that's kind of one thing. Just to go, yeah, I'm the bad guy, but here's the bad guy.
Like Thanos, right? Like Lex would be his Thanos. He'd be the smart man in the background, pulling strings, working with Darkseid. And then, of course, Darkseid would backstab him. Lex would try, whatever, all that good stuff. But as far as a punch for punch villain for Superman, it needs to be someone that, Jay Lee said Lobo would be good. That would be great. I think someone like Jason Momoa would make a good Lobo.
Oh yeah. I don't mind Aquaman. I like their take on Aquaman. It was just it got a little like out of all of them, I would say Aquaman was my favorite, and the first Wonder Woman kind of close second. Up until I loved the first 3/4 of Wonder Woman. I didn't care much for the ending, and then when they relied too much on the CG for the, I was like, yeah, you know what, that just kind of.
Well, so the DC movie universe they trapped themselves into a corner. And, it was that time when Marvel was trying something new and nobody knew if it was going to work or not.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody knew that the anthology type stories that end up coming together to build a bigger team, was it all going to work? Nobody knew that making over the top colorful characters was going to work, because it really hadn't been done since the early Batman series. That was way over the top. The Tim
The Burton.
Yeah, Tim Burton Batman that was comic booky.
Oh, yeah, that would be the best two would have been first, right? The Schumacher two.
Oh, that was too far. But like, and DC, they were going to go that way. And then they had to stop and go, oh, wait, this thing Marvel's doing is working. Let's do the same type of thing. So they had already done some stuff. They pull back and do rewrites and then try to go the other way. We're going to do a Justice League and then branch out from there. And it was just a cluster. Like if they'd have just taken a second and said, I wouldn't care if they did exactly the same thing Marvel did.
Yep.
Just do exactly that. So I think DC's cartoon universe,
Fantastic. Yeah.
best ever. The animated series, Superman the animated series, Justice League Unlimited, early Teen Titans.
Yeah.
The Young Justice is
Yes.
one of the best things to ever hit television. And all the DC animated movies are at least good.
Yep.
Some are fantastic, but they're all at least good. Why the hell can't you do that in live action?
Yeah. Yeah. And they went and hired comic book guys to run, and you would think that Jeff Johns is way up, and that's just the kind of recycled just diarrhea that just running out, man. Just
Yeah, Titans. Inutami says Titans with Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is phenomenal. Like that is one of the best live action.
I haven't watched any yet because we just got.
Oh gosh, I won't ruin it.
Immediate now, so
I won't ruin it. But that is one of the best live action comic book series in the entire world. It is phenomenal, and I expected nothing. Like I had no expect. I thought it was going to be campy and cheesy and goofy, mostly because of the cameo from Titans. You know, I watched the season 1 or 2, had Doom Patrol as a cameo in there, and I was like, oh god, that's going to be cheesy, and it's brilliant, 100% brilliant. Couldn't stop watching it.
Superman 2 was the out of all four, not including the new ones. Yeah, Superman 2 was the best one out of the bunch for sure, without a doubt.
Again, there's a certain level of time related campiness to it. But as a kid, I I loved it, like once a year when Superman would come on television, you know, and you'd see him flying off the building to save Lois, and you know he just very calmly says, "Don't worry, I've got you."
Yeah,
and you hear Lois freak out, "Who's got you?" Yeah, that was great television. I love that.
See, I know this question came up a couple of times.
Good to play Wolverine if they cast him again. I forget who. I actually had someone in mind for this, and I can't think of it. I did have someone in mind. Don't give me Hugh Jackman was great. I think he was.
Yeah.
I cannot. I know I had someone in my head for this, but I can't think of it. Hopefully someone short. Yeah, I would like to at least play some camera tricks that makes him short, right?
Yeah.
If they can make John Rhys Davies look like Gimli in Lord of the Rings, then by God, they can make someone look short for Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know who I thought it would be? Fairly young guy. Not as young as he was when I first started watching him. But did you ever see? This is going to be a weird pick, but I think if they can bulk up Chris Pratt, they can do it to him. The kid that was in what was that British like spy movie? Freaking A! I'm not going to think of it right now. The gentleman. Oh God. It's late. I need sleep.
Yeah, I think you've Kingman? The Kingman?
The Kingsman. Thank you, Jay. Yes, Kingsman. The kid from Kingsman, I can't think of his name right now. I think he's a brilliant actor. I think he could do Eggsy. Yeah, Eggsy. Yeah, I think he could do a good job. But I remember when Wizard magazine back in the day did their dream cast for an X-Men movie, and they pretty much nailed it. Like, I think they had Russell Crowe for Wolverine at the time, but they nailed Patrick Stewart. You know, they nailed him. Yeah, I think that Egerton.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could do a good job.
Now, do you think Disney Marvel ports any of the actors from the other X-Men film, or you think just complete wash and start over?
I assume they're going to complete wash. Well, I mean, I know that Hugh Jackman has said that if they do it, he would consider picking it back up again. I just think it's hard. I think if you're going to redo it, you need to redo it. You need to take the chance, pass the torch on to somebody else, and let them take it. So I think that would be the smartest thing to do, unless they pull the multiverse type thing. But they kind of like,
so.
Yeah, I think at this point we need younger actors, because if you're going to do a 10 or 11 year arc, you know, we need a younger set of people to come in and do it. But I think that I think they should do some early X-Men stories first. What do you think would be their first story arc?
Ooh.
My opinion is they're going to do No More Mutants, and it'll be kind of how they bring mutants in, because to this point they don't really have mutants in the Marvel universe.
No,
everything is science related, and they tried with Inhumans to make them a little more to kind of bring, instead of mutants we had Inhumans, right? But I think that's my WandaVision prediction, by the way. My WandaVision prediction is that they're going the No More Mutants route, and except kind of in reverse. And the tease for that with me is when she saw the beekeeper. Spoilers, you saw it, right? You saw both episodes. When she saw the beekeeper, she said no, and immediately everything went back to the way it was before they saw the beekeeper, and she changed the story. That's really, really close to her whispering "No more mutants" and changing the entire universe.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. I'm definitely gonna rewatch.
All she did was when they went outside and the beekeeper was coming up out of the manhole. Yeah. She just said no, and then they were back in the house, and she changed the story up, and they didn't go outside. Beekeeper could be AIM for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, but there was definitely bees involved, right?
Yes.
But I could see them doing No More Mutants, something in that type of storyline. They could easily bring mutants or more people like her. I don't know. I think that's a way, if not the way.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, it's I think that's probably safe. And then honestly, it kind of fits in with a lot of today's goings on again, with with not purely recent, but somewhat recent events and fairly recent events as well. So yeah, I think that would be
and going into that would be a good way to edge into Avengers versus X-Men, because that's just think that I would think that's the era that they would concentrate on. No More Mutants, AVX, and then whatever from there. then they could do their spin-off stories kind of like they do in the Avengers, where you have, and maybe they do it on Disney Plus as TV series like
Yeah.
WandaVision or whatever, and that's how they fill the gaps in. But I mean, there's plenty of one-shot stories you could tell with any number of the X-Men. Some of them a little harder to do than others. Like, as much as I love Gambit, a single story with Gambit would take some doing.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Hawkeye of the X-Men, right? So I don't need
team ups. Yeah, you do team ups. So you would do like like the Avengers did. You would have like it may be a Captain America movie, but you're going to see Black Widow and whoever in it.
Yeah, he'd be a good one. He could poke at and come into Rogue or something like that. Like that, she would be a really good one for sure.
Well, there's been great one-off stories. Like, I remember in the early 2000s, they did a lot of one-shot stories. They did Storm, Rogue, Gambit, where you get into Gambit being in the Thieves Guild, and Rogue trying to deal with her powers. And then you could do origins, because origin stories are always what gets overdone.
Yeah,
that's what gets overdone. Like, we don't need to see where I think what Ty was saying earlier, it's too many Spider-Man stories, too many Batman stories. It gets to be too many when the first movie has to tell the origin again. Like, we get it. We know where Spider-Man comes from. we know where Batman comes from. The entire opening sequence, opening credits should be the origin and then move into the story.
Yep.
Days of Future Past will be a good one. Fatal Attraction. I always like Fatal Attraction was a good story in the 90s. The Executioner song would be a phenomenal live action movie. Do you remember that one?
No, that one, no.
It was in the 90s. It was one of the first big crossovers I remember getting. It introduced Strife, Cable's evil twin brother. And since we have Cable, now Deadpool is going to be part of that whole MCU.
Yep.
That was a really good storyline. Executioner song was one of my favorite crossovers in the 90s.
Doctor Strange that one sounds like it's going to be a trip, and I don't think you need to be on anything to watch it, probably. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one. I like the first one. The Ant-Man films I get a kick out of, so I'm looking forward to the third Ant-Man film, because I mean, it just doesn't take itself serious whatsoever, and I appreciate that. So
yeah, the only thing that really disappointed me about the Marvel stuff is, I get that the Hulk is a hard character to write.
Yeah.
But when you have something, Hulk is kind of the Superman character, right? Like, he's the catch-all. Send in the Hulk, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But turning him into some wishy-washy weirdo, I didn't really enjoy that. I did not enjoy Fat Thor. I thought that was a cheap way out.
Yeah.
You have these amazing characters that you've built for 11 years or something like that, and to have them turn out to be these big old weirdo pansies was kind of a miss for me. But yeah, I didn't really like that much. You spend all this time building up how awesome these characters are, just to take a crap on them at the end and make Thor make Hulk into a nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. Yeah. I didn't mind the first time I saw it. I think when saw Thor, I was like, okay, all right, and I enjoyed it. And then I've lost count on how many times I've actually watched those two films back to back. But the more I watch it, then I'm just kind of like, Yeah, he definitely is more of a joke through that whole, hey Lebowski, move us up, blah, blah, or whatever, just
Yeah.
blithering. Woo, and I'm just
Like
like,
I said,
yeah.
throughout all these movies, they make him out to be just so powerful and so awesome, and then just and the excuse is simple. The excuse is they're too powerful, so we need the other characters to pick up the slack. But then you bring in Miss Marvel, who is the catch-all. Like now she's the most powerful, which is fine. She is very powerful, but you already like the reason you dumbed these down is because they were too powerful, and now you've got this other thing here. So, I don't know. I just think that was it was a writer's way of making something happen and just saying MacGuffin, like, we're just gonna make them not care.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. The one, let's see, is it the? Trying to think which Hulk film.
I love the Edward Norton Hulk.
I think it was, yeah, because he went. That was with that one had Tim Roth, right? Tim Roth was Abomination. Am I
Yes.
thinking right?
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
so yeah, it was that one. So, it was filmed literally about 10 minutes from my house, like the whole big city explosion at night and the whole bit. That I was going back to culinary school, and there were times that we would be sitting in there, and then we'd have a knock on the door saying, "Okay, we're going to be shutting the power off for a few hours to do this night shoot," and we'd be like, "I got a chicken in the frying pan, guy. How am I supposed to cook this stuff?" It's like, well, you guys can watch what's going on, and we're like, yeah, okay, great. And it wasn't until they were done filming, and then when finally somebody was like, "Oh yeah, what are you guys filming?" And they're like, "Oh, the Incredible Hulk." And we're like, "Get the frig out!" Oh yeah, that's. Oh, Edward Norton's here. No, he's CG. So I'm like, oh, all right, well, whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. So
It's funny. Mike Case, Mike said he loved Thor in Endgame. I listen. I get what you're saying. I don't. It's not that I care that they did that because there's room for that kind of stuff in the stories. I just don't think the right place for it is at the climax. That's a mid-story kind of funny thing to do, but at the climax, big final 11-year story ending giant moment that we've all been waiting for all this time, Fat Thor and Wimpy Hulk. That's just, I think that's not the place for it. But I agree, great funny stuff to do somewhere else other than the climax, the final battle climax movie. Just my opinion.
Drinking. All right, awesome. Cripes, we got like 18 guys still in here. I don't know.
I'll probably actually need to go soon. I've got to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
I hear you. So I was trying to go back about at least 12 minutes earlier and go. I mean, yeah, you know what? This is great because we haven't really on the channel really gotten into. I mean, it's usually mostly figure related, and we kind of get off, and then I'm talking favorite candy bars for half an hour or something. So, but yeah, man, to get into some Transformer stuff and then getting into comics. I haven't taught comics in forever, so we'll have to pick this up again for sure.
Getting off topic is the best part of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know it always happens. So I did want to point out too, I didn't know if I showed off. I got this for Christmas this year. So we got I have tons of Gamecock stuff. Every year my parents go down, they stay for 3 months, and then they bring me some more crap up. So blankets and you name it. So
you only have two choices here: Clemson or Gamecocks.
Exactly. All right, well, guys, we're gonna can it because Kato's got to get up. I have to get up because the kids have school in the morning, and I'm the alarm clock for everybody. So it'll come awfully early. So I appreciate everybody coming out once again. And it's only 2 hours. Yeah, suck it up. We'll have another 4-hour another day. So not today, but we will. We'll have Kato back for sure. Again, we'll get maybe some more comic movie stuff or whatever. And yeah, it was fantastic. Thanks so much for hanging out again.
Thanks for having me.
All righty, sir. That's it, guys. I'm just gonna end the broadcast here since we're gonna finish off. So, all righty, guys. We'll catch you Saturday, I think, for sure, or else Friday. I'm over at 3:00 with the Pally Boys. So, we'll see you guys again soon. Later, eh? And finish.